Are you the kind of person that gets burnt out quickly from spending hours and hours trying to edit a clip just for it to flop on social media? Well, then you've come to the right place, because I'm going to show you guys how to make a video just like this one here, but we're going to set up a workflow so that you can work as quickly and efficiently as possible. Let's get right into the video. All right, you guys, so we're going to be using Adobe After Effects. Now, I think this is one of the best programs to use when you're editing things like this. And now, the biggest thing that I've noticed when I watch a lot of these tutorials is that people teach you how to edit your clips, but what they don't teach you is how to create a workflow so that you don't have to make the same edits over and over and over again. And the reason why this is so important is that once you have this set, all you have to do is just drag and drop the different pieces and you're gonna be done. Your edits are gonna go from hours and hours and hours of editing to literally minutes. Okay, so first thing that we're doing is we're gonna press New Composition, and we wanna make sure that the width is 1080 and the height is 1920. We want the frame rate to be whatever the frame rate of the clip is that we're using. I typically shoot my streams in 60 FPS, so I like to leave it at 60 FPS. And then the duration isn't super important because you can change this depending on how long or short the clip is, but I typically like to not go longer than 1 minute and 30 seconds. So I'll set my duration to about 1 minute and 30. Then we're gonna press OK. From here, I already have an asset created of a webcam overlay. So I know that a lot of you probably don't have something set up like this yet. So I do have a free asset in the description down below. If you want to click the link, you can download it at the website. And then I will have a YouTube video coming out shortly on how to create your own if you guys want to make something that looks very similar to what I have here. So we'll go right click, import file, and I'm just going to drag in some footage of me playing Squid Games on Roblox. And what we're going to do is we're going to drag this footage on over into the middle. Well, first up, we want to drag this clip underneath our border so that we can see our border again and line things up properly. But now what you need to do, make sure the clip is selected, go to Effect, go to Distort, and then we're going to go down here to Transform. And what I want you guys to do is I want you to use the position tools that are right here. We're going to move this around however you need to so that we line this clip right about here. We're going to increase the scale just about there. Maybe move this clip upwards just like that. So now what I want you to do is you're going to go to Animation. You're going to do Save Animation Preset. And I want you to save this wherever you need to save it. I'm saving it just in the default spot. But you can call this something like Clip Bottom. Now what we need to do is we need to click on the footage on the bottom here. You're gonna hold Control D. And what we did is we just duplicated that footage. And now we can rearrange the positioning up here. We're gonna move our clip this way. And we wanna just line up our footage. We can zoom in just a little bit as well to get a better view. And scale this up. And just keep repositioning so that we get our webcam footage where it needs to be. And I'm content with this. That looks pretty good. If we scrub through the footage just a little bit, we see that everything kind of stays in focus. If you're having any issues with your footage, by the way, this right here is the resolution dropdown. And you could switch it from full so that we have the full resolution, or when you're editing, I like to switch it to quarter. That way I can kind of scrub through things pretty quickly without a whole lot of computer processing power. But once we have this clip positioned in the way that we want it for the top portion, we're going to go again to Animation, Save Animation Preset, and we can call this one Clip Top, and then press Save. So I know that this took a little bit of time to get here. It took a little bit of time to edit, especially if you're probably newer to After Effects, but let me show you the magic of what we just did and why we took our time doing all of this. So I'm going to delete all the files. So we're going to come at this as if it's a brand new clip. You just finished streaming, you downloaded your clip. We're going to drag in the webcam overlay. Now we're going to drag in our new clip that we just got. We're going to hold Control D to duplicate that clip because we need two of those clips, one for the webcam, one for the gameplay footage. We're going to take the webcam overlay footage at the bottom left here and drag that above everything. And now for one of the clips, we'll do the bottom clip. We'll select that. We're going to go to Animation, Recent Animation Presets, and we're going to do the bottom one. And then we're going to go to the top footage. We're going to do Animation Preset, Recent Animation Presets, and click top. And that's it. We literally just edited the clip. Like that's literally it. You could go a little bit more in depth if you wanted to add zooms or if you want to add sound effects or things like that. But if you're trying to put out a lot of clips in a short amount of time, this is all you need to do. Something to keep in mind, when you duplicate these clips like this, you're also duplicating the audio. So you want to make sure that you go to your bottom clip and press the little speaker icon to turn off the audio. Now, the last thing I'm going to show you is that we do need to render this footage out. So I'm going to go right about here to the 1 minute mark. I'm going to hold the shift button because that's going to create like it's going to like magnet lock onto that mark. And that's where our clip ends. So we want to make sure that the footage stops showing, or else it's just going to be see-through. So we'll hold shift and drag and stop it right there. We'll press the letter N. That creates the end cutoff. Then right here in this bar, we're going to right click and do trim comp to work area. And if we go to composition, add to media encoder queue, we're going to just export the footage because that's literally all we need to do. We're going to click where the blue text is. And the settings that we want to use for rendering out one of our actual clips themselves is we want to make sure this is set to H.264 under the format settings. So from here, we want to make sure that the width and the height are same thing, 1080 by 1920. The frame rate here is going to depend upon the footage that you're using. I typically always stream in 60 FPS, so my footage is in 60 FPS, which matches the webcam overlay that we made. I highly recommend doing that, but for you, it might be a little bit different. We want to make sure that the render at maximum depth box is checked. Hardware encoding is checked. Some of these settings are going to be a little bit specific to the computer setup that you're running, but if we go down just a little bit further here, I've got it set up to a VBR 2 pass with the target bitrate set to 10 and then the maximum bitrate set to 42. There's a lot of different videos on setting up these settings, and I'll be honest with you, I'm still figuring out the settings as social media platforms are evolving. So if you see something different, feel free to comment down below. I don't mind being educated on that kind of stuff. This is what's worked for me in my clips over the past few years. And then the last portion though is that we want to make sure that we set the maximum render quality. Press that checkbox. And then what you could do here is you could save this preset and give it a name. And that way, instead of going through all of these settings every single time you export, you could literally just click on this drop down button and highlight whatever it is. I have this set up for TikTok, so it's always there when I need it. And then all you got to do is press OK. You can click the output extension to choose where the file is going to go on your computer, and then press the green button and you render it out. Well, that's all I got for you guys today. If you set up your workflow just like this, I guarantee it's going to save you a lot of time, especially if you're trying to put out a lot of clips in the near future. If this video helped you out, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up or subscribe to the channel, as it helps me a lot and I would really appreciate that. And let me know in the comments down below if there's anything that you guys want to learn or see more of. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.